In a grand room on a spaceship, the Galactic Council gathered to discuss a serious problem. This council was made up of leaders from many different alien races. They had come together to talk about humans, a young but rapidly growing species on a small planet called Earth. The atmosphere was tense. Council members sat in their seats, their faces serious. Some were confident, believing that humans were weak and easy to defeat. Others were worried. They had heard stories of humans fighting back against those who tried to harm them. "Humans are a threat," said Xyler, a tall alien with bright green skin. He had many battle scars and a loud voice. "They have technology that can hurt us. We should strike first before they attack!" Several council members nodded, agreeing with Xyler. They believed that taking action was the best way to protect themselves. "Yes, we must show them our power," another member added. "If we attack first, they will know not to mess with us." But not everyone was convinced. The alien ambassador, a wise and old creature named Corian, raised his hand for silence. Corian had seen many battles in his lifetime. He was known for his calm demeanor and sharp mind. "Please listen to me," he began, his voice steady. "I have met humans. They are not as weak as you think. They are clever and resourceful." The council members exchanged glances. Some looked skeptical, while others seemed intrigued. Corian continued, "I remember a story from many years ago. A human colony was attacked by a powerful enemy. Everyone thought they would lose. But the humans did not give up. They fought back and found a way to win against all odds." Xyler scoffed. "That is just one story. We cannot judge an entire species by a few events." "But we must," Corian replied firmly. "Humans have an incredible will to survive. They learn quickly from their mistakes. If we attack them, they will fight back. We could start a war we are not ready for." Many council members whispered among themselves, considering Corian's words. The idea of a war with humans was scary. What if the council misjudged them? What if humans were stronger than they thought? "Why should we listen to an ambassador?" Xyler sneered, his confidence unwavering. "We have fought tougher enemies before. Why should this one be different?" Corian took a deep breath. He knew he had to make them see. "Because we are a council of reason, not just might. We must consider the consequences of our actions. If we choose war, we must be ready to face the consequences." Silence filled the room as everyone contemplated Corian's warning. The council was divided. Some still believed war was the answer, while others were beginning to doubt their decision. Corian pressed on, determined to change their minds. "I have studied humans. They are unpredictable. They fight hard for what they believe in, and they will defend their home with everything they have. If we attack, they may unite against us." Slowly, the council began to realize that Corian was right. The stories of human bravery and resourcefulness were becoming harder to ignore. Perhaps a war with humans was not a smart idea. Finally, after what felt like an eternity, a council member named Myra, who had been quiet until now, spoke up. "We should think about this more. Let's not rush into war. We need to know what we are dealing with before making a decision." The room was filled with murmurs of agreement. Corian felt a sense of hope. Maybe, just maybe, he had planted a seed of doubt in their minds about starting a war with humanity. As the council continued to discuss, Corian knew that the battle for peace was just beginning. But for now, he had bought them some time. Back on Earth, the atmosphere was tense in a large conference room filled with leaders from different nations. They were gathered to discuss alarming news. The Galactic Council was considering war with humans. The room was full of worried faces, each leader feeling the weight of what was at stake. A military leader named General Carter stood up. He was tall and strong with a serious expression. "We need to act fast. The council thinks we are weak. If we do nothing, they will attack us." He looked around the room, gauging the reactions of his fellow leaders. "General Carter is right," said a woman with bright blue hair who was a respected scientist named Dr. Elena. "We cannot let them believe that we are easy targets. We must show them our strength and unity." Another leader, a young diplomat named Sarah, raised her hand. "But how do we do that? We don't even know their full capabilities. If we send a message, what should it say?" General Carter took a deep breath and said, "We must show them what humans are made of. Let's create a video that highlights our achievements, our technology, and our spirit. We need to send a strong message that we will not back down." Everyone nodded, seeing the sense in Carter's plan. Dr. Elena added, "We can include examples of our greatest achievements. our innovations in medicine, our scientific breakthroughs, and our ability to come together in times of crisis. With a plan forming, the leaders quickly divided tasks. A team of skilled video editors, scientists, and military strategists came together to work on the project. They spent days gathering footage, showing humans working together, creating technology, and overcoming challenges. One evening, they gathered in the conference room to review the video. The screen lit up with images of humans exploring space, curing diseases, and uniting in the face of disasters. As they watched, a sense of pride filled the room. "This is who we are," Sarah said, her voice filled with determination. "We are not just a young species, we are survivors. We will show the Council that we are ready to stand our ground." As the video concluded, General Carter turned to the group. "It's time to send this to the Galactic Council. We need to make it clear that we are not afraid and that we can defend ourselves." The leaders agreed, and the video was prepared for transmission. Meanwhile, far away in space, the Galactic Council was still in session. They had not yet made a final decision about the humans, but whispers of fear and doubt lingered among the members. Xyler continued to push for war, while others began to feel anxious about their earlier plans. Just then, a holographic image appeared in the council chamber. It was the video message from Earth. The council members turned their attention to the screen, curious about what the humans had to say. As the video played, they saw scenes of humans working together, celebrating their victories, and showing compassion for one another. The council was taken aback. The power of unity and determination shone through every clip. When the video ended, the room fell silent. The alien ambassador, Corian, stood up, a thoughtful expression on his face. "This is a message of strength. These humans are not to be underestimated. They have shown their courage and resilience. We must consider this carefully." Xyler frowned, feeling threatened. "This does not change anything. We still have to be careful. They may be planning something right now." But Corian shook his head. "No, Xyler. This shows us that humans are willing to fight for what they believe in. If we push them too far, they might surprise us." The council members looked at each other, uncertainty creeping in. The video had sparked doubt in their minds about the wisdom of attacking humanity. Back on Earth, the leaders watched the transmission from the council to see their reactions. They felt hopeful. Their message had been delivered, and they had shown their true selves. As they waited for a response, they knew they had done everything they could to prepare for whatever lay ahead. The future was uncertain, but one thing was clear. Humans were ready to fight for their survival. The Galactic Council chamber was filled with tension as members gathered to discuss the recent message from Earth. The video showing humanity's achievements had stirred up mixed feelings among the Council. Some members felt threatened, while others began to question their plans for war. Corian, the alien ambassador, sat quietly in his seat, observing the council members as they debated. Xyler was still pushing for an attack. "We cannot let this show of strength change our plans. We are the powerful ones here. We should strike before they gather more support," he shouted, his voice booming. But Corian knew that this was not the right path. He raised his hand, signaling for attention. "I have something to say," he said, his voice calm but firm. "We must think carefully about our next steps. The message from Earth is not just a warning, it is a plea for understanding." Xyler frowned. "Understanding? They are showing off, hoping to intimidate us. We cannot let this continue. They must know who is in charge." Corian took a deep breath, choosing his words wisely. "Xyler, let us not forget that we are a council built on reason and dialogue. We cannot make decisions based on fear alone." The video showcased not just their strengths, but also their unity and determination. If we choose war, we risk everything. The council members exchanged glances, some beginning to see Corian's point. The ambassador continued, "I have met humans. They are unpredictable, yes, but they are also capable of great kindness and bravery. I have seen them come together in times of crisis. They fought against impossible odds and found ways to win. We must acknowledge their spirit." A council member named Myra, who had been quiet until now, spoke up. "Corian is right. We should not underestimate them. They have shown us that they are willing to stand and fight for their home. If we attack, they may unite even more against us." Xyler shook his head, frustrated. "We are giving them too much credit. They are still a young species, and their technology is not as advanced as ours. We can crush them easily." Corian leaned forward, his eyes focused on Xyler. "That may be true, but let us not forget the cost of such actions. A war with humans could lead to losses on both sides. We do not know what they are capable of when pushed to the brink. They may surprise us. As Corian spoke, memories of past conflicts filled his mind. He recalled battles that had started over misunderstandings and pride. Each time, countless lives were lost because one side thought they could easily win. He did not want history to repeat itself with humanity. The council members began to murmur amongst themselves. Doubt lingered in the air as they weighed Corian's words. Xyler, feeling cornered, raised his voice. "So what do you suggest we do? Sit back and wait for them to come for us?" Corian straightened his posture, a glimmer of hope in his eyes. "No, we must be proactive, but in a different way. Let us reach out to them for dialogue. Let's arrange a meeting with human leaders to discuss our concerns. We can share our fears and find common ground." The room fell silent. The idea of negotiating with humans was a radical change from the previous plan of attack. Many council members looked uncertain, but Corian's calm presence gave them a sense of peace. Finally, Myra spoke again. "A meeting could show our willingness to communicate. It may ease tensions and help us understand them better. I think it's worth a try." Slowly, other council members began to nod in agreement. They were beginning to realize that choosing peace might be the smarter path forward. Xyler crossed his arms, still unhappy with the decision, but he could see that the council was leaning towards Corian's proposal. He had lost this round, but the fight was not over yet. As the meeting concluded, Corian felt a sense of relief. He had successfully planted the idea of peace in the council's mind. If they could talk to humanity, perhaps they could avoid the destruction of war. With hope in his heart, Corian knew that the next steps would be crucial. The future of both humans and aliens hung in the balance, and he was determined to guide them toward understanding. The day had finally arrived. The Galactic Council had decided to meet with the leaders of Earth. Corian, the alien ambassador, felt a mix of excitement and nervousness as he prepared for this important encounter. He hoped that this meeting would lead to understanding, not conflict. The Council had chosen a neutral location for the meeting, a large, bright room on a space station floating between Earth and the Council's home planets. The walls shimmered with light, and the air was filled with the hum of technology. Corian arrived early to ensure everything was ready. Soon, the human delegation arrived. General Carter, Dr. Elena, and Sarah stepped into the room, their expressions serious but determined. They looked around, taking in their surroundings. This was their first time in a place like this, and the advanced technology amazed them. Corian greeted them warmly. "Welcome, esteemed leaders of Earth. Thank you for coming. We hope to discuss our concerns and find a way to coexist peacefully." General Carter nodded but remained cautious. "Thank you, Ambassador. We appreciate the chance to talk. We are here to defend our planet and to ensure the safety of our people." As they settled into their seats, Corian began the meeting. "We have seen your message and watched your video. It impressed many in the Council. We understand that humans are capable of great things. However, we still have concerns about your intentions." Dr. Elena leaned forward, her voice steady. "We are not here to threaten anyone. Our goal is peace. We want to show you that we can be allies, not enemies. We believe that understanding each other is the first step." Corian smiled, feeling encouraged. "That is a wise perspective. But we have seen how quickly misunderstandings can lead to conflict. We need to address our fears openly." Sarah, who had been quiet until now, spoke up. "We understand your concerns, but please know that we are not the same species that you may have encountered before. We have learned from our mistakes. We want to work together for the good of both our worlds." Xyler, who had accompanied the council members, interrupted with skepticism. "But can we really trust you? You have a history of violence among yourselves. What makes you different now?" General Carter's eyes narrowed. "We are not perfect, but we have grown. We have fought hard to overcome our past. We believe in cooperation and understanding. Our goal is to avoid war at all costs." Corian sensed the tension rising. "Let us remember that we are here to listen and learn. Trust cannot be built overnight, but it can grow through dialogue." As the conversation continued, the council and the human leaders shared stories about their cultures. The humans explained their achievements, including how they had come together during crises like natural disasters and wars. They spoke of their hope for a future where different species could work together. Slowly, Xyler began to soften. He listened carefully, trying to understand the humans' point of view. If we were to work together, how could we ensure that both sides benefit? We need to have trust in this relationship. Dr. Elena took a deep breath. We can create agreements that ensure cooperation. For example, we can share technology and knowledge to help each other grow. Together, we could achieve amazing things. Corian interjected, "What if we set up a council that includes both humans and aliens? We could work on issues together, ensuring that both sides are heard. This could be a step towards lasting peace." The room fell silent as everyone considered the idea. It was a radical proposal, but it also felt hopeful. Finally, General Carter nodded. That could work. If we have a shared council, it would show our commitment to working together. Xyler, though still hesitant, agreed. If we can find common goals, we might begin to trust each other. But this will take time and effort. As the meeting continued, the atmosphere began to shift. What had started as a tense encounter was turning into a meaningful dialogue. Corian felt a sense of hope. They were making progress, one conversation at a time. By the end of the meeting, the leaders shook hands, a symbol of their commitment to peace. Corian knew this was just the beginning, but it was a step in the right direction. As the humans departed, they felt a sense of optimism. They had made their case and taken a step toward understanding the aliens. Meanwhile, the council members began to see the value of dialogue over conflict. Together, they were creating a new future, one built on communication and trust. After the historic meeting between the Galactic Council and the leaders of Earth, a sense of hope filled the air. Both sides had taken a significant step toward understanding each other, and now the real work was about to begin. Back on Earth, General Carter, Dr. Elena, and Sarah gathered in a conference room to discuss the next steps. "We need to follow up quickly," General Carter said, pacing back and forth. "The Council may change its mind if we don't show them we are serious about building a partnership." Sarah nodded. "We should send them a formal proposal for the Council we discussed. We need to outline how it would work and what our goals would be." Dr. Elena added, "We can also suggest projects where we can collaborate right away. This will show them that we are committed to this new beginning." As they worked, excitement filled the room. They wrote a detailed proposal outlining shared scientific research, technological exchanges, and cultural programs to help both species learn from one another. They included ideas for joint missions to explore the galaxy and address issues like climate change, which affected both worlds. Meanwhile, in the Galactic Council chamber, Corian was preparing to present the humans' proposal. He felt a sense of responsibility. This was a crucial moment for both species, and he wanted to ensure that the Council understood the importance of moving forward. When he entered the chamber, Council members were already in their seats. Xyler still wore a skeptical expression, but Corian was determined to change that. He began, "Esteemed Council members, I have the proposal from our human counterparts. They have outlined a vision for collaboration that could benefit both our species." As Corian spoke, he shared the humans' ideas. The room was silent, and Corian could feel the tension rising. He knew Xyler would not easily accept this new direction. After Corian finished, Xyler stood up. "This is all very nice, but can we really trust humans? They have a history of conflict. How can we be sure they won't turn on us?" Corian took a deep breath, choosing his words carefully. "Xyler, the humans have shown us their willingness to engage in dialogue. They have acknowledged their past mistakes and are seeking a new path. If we do not give them a chance, we risk missing an opportunity for peace." Another council member, Myra, chimed in. "I believe Corian is right. This is a chance for us to lead by example. If we can create a council that includes humans, we can build trust over time." Xyler looked around the room, seeing that others were beginning to support Corian's view. He hesitated, but eventually nodded. "Very well. We can give this a chance, but we must remain vigilant." With Xyler's reluctant approval, the council voted on the proposal. The results were overwhelmingly positive. Corian felt a surge of relief and hope. This was a turning point for both species. As weeks passed, the new council took shape. Leaders from Earth and the Galactic Council worked together to create a framework for their cooperation. They organized joint meetings and discussions, focusing on shared goals and challenges. Back on Earth, the public began to learn about the partnership. News stories highlighted the humans' willingness to engage with alien civilizations. People were excited but also cautious. Some were still worried about the possibility of conflict. General Carter spoke to the press, assuring everyone that this was a chance for peace. "We are not just standing by. We are actively working to create a better future for all. This partnership can lead to advancements that benefit both our worlds." Dr. Elena began working on a project to share scientific knowledge between humans and aliens. They planned joint research on health and technology, aiming to improve life for both species. As the council met regularly, they learned more about each other's cultures and ways of life. They exchanged stories, traditions, and values. Slowly, friendships began to form across the species. One day, during a council meeting, Corian smiled as he watched Sarah and Xyler laughing together over a misunderstanding about Earth customs. It was a small moment, but it showed that they were moving beyond suspicion and fear. As they celebrated their first successful joint project, an initiative to combat space debris that threatened both Earth and the Council's planets, Corian felt a wave of optimism. This was just the beginning, and there was still much work to be done. Together, they had created something special, a partnership built on trust, respect, and the desire for a brighter future. It was a new beginning for both humans and aliens, one that promised hope and collaboration in the vast universe. Corian knew that challenges lay ahead, but for now he felt hopeful. They had taken the first steps toward a peaceful coexistence, and that was something worth celebrating.